Today we're going to be installing a rear diffuser, the exhaust trim, as well as the rear vents, all in carbon fiber from Extreme Online Store on my C8 Corvette. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and today we are going to be installing a carbon fiber diffuser on the back end of my C8. Now we got this diffuser from Extreme Online Store and it has a beautiful weave to it. You're going to be able to see that here in the video. What we are also going to do is that those of you that have been watching the channel, you know that I just recently did a video where we changed from the low wing spoiler, or actually no spoiler, to a low wing and a high wing, and we did that in the same video, and I showed you the inner workings of the bumper on how you get the bumper off. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to refilm that part of it because as you saw in there, I got the GoPro in there really tight, showed you the exact spots where those bolts are, and that's really hard to do. So I'm going to reuse that video from that previous video to be able to show you that, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in here in the very beginning of this video so you guys have a reference point if you decide you don't want to go back and watch the other video. So what I'm going to do once I'm during editing, I will go ahead and I will put it right here on the screen to be able to let you fast forward. If you already know how to change the bumper or take the bumper off, then you'll be able to just fast forward to that spot to be able to see how to change the diffuser. Now, we are also going to be doing a couple other things while we have this bumper off. One is we're going to be putting the carbon fiber vents in also. We're going to be taking the factory ones out. I'm going to show you how the safety sensors, the backup sensors all work, and each one of these pieces has those in it, so you'll be able to see how those get transferred, as well as a carbon fiber trim ring that goes around the exhaust, okay? You don't have to buy that carbon fiber part. I have it to be able to do with, and you're going to be able to see how it's done. We're going to be riveting them in just like how the factory rivets the original ones in on the original bumper. So if you have elected not to buy that carbon fiber piece and you just want to use the original carbon flash piece, that's not a problem. You're just going to have to drill those rivets out, okay? So other than that, there is one other thing that we're going to show you how to put the vents in, and we'll get to that in the video. So I'm going to show you a couple tricks on how to secure those so they don't ever pop out on you. So anyway, guys, sit back and relax. We're going to show you how this is done. We're going to try to make it as simple and easy as we can for you. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy the video. All right, we're going to pull these top screws out. Like I said, these are 15 torques, and we're just going to set them up over here. They're all exactly the same length, so you don't have to worry about what hole they came out of. Alright, so we've got all the screws out here on the top side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lift the car up just a little bit. I've already got it on the lift. We're going to lift it up a little bit, take the wheels off, and then we'll be able to get into the wheel wells. We've got the tires off. We're going to go ahead. I've got my GoPro here. I'm going to be able to get up into this fender well and show you. But we've got some different screws that we've got to pull free here. So we're going to start with the bottom rock guard screw, which is a 7mm, and it's right here. We're going to pull that one out. Okay, we'll tuck that one just right there. That'll allow us to go ahead and pull the rock guard free. so. Okay, and then we'll be able to pull that, set that one down over here. And I'm just going to move across so I don't have to keep going back and forth. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my 15 Torx on here, and I'm going to start pulling these Torx screws out of the bottom. Alright, we'll just move those, tuck them up underneath here. Now, like I'm going to show you here, let me turn on my GoPro and I'll show you what I'm talking about here as far as there's a couple 15 Torx here. And they're right here. You can see right there. And there's one right there. So we're going to take those out. And let me stop that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull those little guys out. Now again, all these Torx, they're all exactly the same. So you don't have to worry about them being different lengths. Okay. Now what that does is we're gonna be able to open this up. We're gonna be able to pull our wheel well, our wheel liner, down and out of the way here. And let's see here, we've got another one right here, which I forgot about, guys. It's another 7mm. It's right here. We'll get that one down and out of the way. So we're gonna get up in here. I'm gonna turn on the GoPro. Let's see if I can show you this. So you've got your 2 screws that are right here. Okay, these are 2 7mm screws. Those are fairly easy to get to. And then you've got the one that's right up there. Let me see if I can get the camera up there so you can see it. I think you can now. You can see that 10mm nut right there as the stud. That's what we've got to get off. Okay, so I'm going to literally just put the camera down just for a second so I can go ahead and get my tool up there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get that up there, and then I can go ahead and get this going. Okay, so this screw is really the hardest one of the bunch to get off. And if you just you take the tool, you put it up there, and you get it started, just like that. Then you can put your gun on here. I'm going to show you, once I get it on here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so let me get the camera again here, and you can see what I've got going on here. So I've got that little angle going up onto that 10mm nut, and you can see that it's just my little gun there hooked to it. Alright, so then at that point, all I'm doing, see if I can get my camera turned around here. And you can see right there, I'm just pulling that nut off. Okay, just like that. And then at that point, that gets that nut off. Hold it on just a little bit, and I got it off. So now, at that point, we just have to take these two screws off right there. Okay. So, I'm just going to go back to my handy dandy 7mm here, and I can pull these off. So let me see if I can get that on camera here so you guys can see that. Okay, just like that. Right, and we got that one. And then we've got one more, which is right here. Oh, there we go. Okay, a little tight quartered, guys, especially when you're trying to use a camera. But that is all there is. Those 3, the 1 nut and the 2 screws that hold that together. And then at that point, we can go back to our other camera view here. And we'll go ahead and we'll put our 15mm back in, or 15 Torx, I should say. Make sure that we don't lose our screws. Get that all kept together. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move right along here. Let me get out of the camera. Get out of the way of the camera, I should say. So we started these 2 screws here. We got those loose. And then we've got we've got some other screws right over here. See if I can get down here a little bit. So now we've got our screw out of the bottom right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull the rock guard off. And just with that, we've set this off to the side. And then we've got our 15 Torx that I showed you from a different angle right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull those out. A lot of close quarters, guys, so it's hard to get you the best view. It kind of sucks. I'm going to try to get my camera in over on this side though, and see if I can get you a little bit better view. And then you don't want to forget that we have one more 7mm right here. All right. So now what we've got is we should be able to peel this open, roll this kind of back here, get this out of the way. It's like this. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my GoPro and I'm going to go ahead and show you what that really looks like up there easily. So, if you look right up there, look right here, I think I've got it, is the two screws that you're looking at there. And then the one that I was showing you that was really hard to show you, that's it right there on this side. See? It's easy to get to on this side. But on the other side, if you're not even looking for it, you wouldn't even know it's there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull that little guy out. We are here at the back of the bumper. We've got everything loose. We've got all of our top screws out. And let me explain to you one other thing. When we did the top screws, I pulled them all out, but I didn't really explain. There's one over here kind of in the corners. So you'll want to make sure you get those out, okay? But we've got those screws all out. We've got our side by our rock guards, everything underneath. We're free. Now, what you want to make sure to do, and I'll get you some footage inside here to show you where these connectors are, because I've got my GoPro here. We'll go ahead and do that. But I have a couple different pry tools, as well as a screwdriver here, because there's a couple connectors in here that have like a safety lock in them, and sometimes they come loose just really easy. Other times they fight you, and when you're sitting here trying to get the bumper off, you know, if you've got somebody that can help you, wonderful. But when you're doing it by yourself, you want to make sure that you're prepared. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this loose. You'll see how easy this is for it to come off. It comes off really, really simple. Okay. So you just grab it. I've got the weight here. I'm just going to set this down. And you can see what I did is I used the cardboard box that the spoiler came in, as well as a blanket, just to make sure that I'm not scratching it. Okay, so it's sitting here. There's actually 3 connectors. Let me see if I can get this to fire up here. So here we go. Hang on a second. All right, so you can see right here we've got one connector here. You've got another smaller connector right here, and then you got another big one right here. Okay, and that is really all there is to it. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take those loose. We'll pull the bumper off. We'll set it on. We'll go ahead and we'll set it on a stand so we can flip it upon its backside. I'm going to take the tail lights out and all that type of stuff. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that right now. It always helps a little bit, guys. So if you see me here for a second, you see I got this big light on my head. It will help you to be able to have that. But we're going to pull this red safety clip here, and then we're going to push down. You guys, those of you that have done these, you know, that have worked on GM, these clips are very much the same all the way around. They are very tight, and sometimes you might want to try to pull them off of the clip itself, just to give you a little bit of leverage here. because there we go, you can see right there, we pulled that loose. So now I probably can get in here a little bit better, get everything adjusted, pull that loose. But like I said, sometimes it looks like this one might be one of them that's going to do it. It doesn't want to come loose, so I can usually put a little bit in here, just a little screwdriver, just to give it a little bit of help, and then it will come. Doesn't take a lot. There we go, just like that. Then this one's got a safety clip on it also. I don't know if you can see that. See if I can get that to go. We may end up doing the same thing over here, just to give it a little bit of help. You can see right there, that's it just freed up, just like that. Then we're going to do the same thing on this gray one. Pull the red safety clip back, and you're going to push down. You got to get it just right to get the gray plastic piece to go down. Okay, and if you can see that now with the camera, we're going to push that right into its sweet spot. You'll see it. You'll be able to feel it. Okay, but like I said, these clips are so tight, these connectors. So just get it down in there the best you can, and then you can use your screwdriver inside the lip and just kind of wedge it. And once you get it wedged, usually it'll pop free, just like that. Okay. All right, guys. As you saw how to go ahead and take the bumper off. And so now what we're going to do, we've got the bumper here on our stand. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our screen out of this diffuser here, out of the factory diffuser. That way we'll have it to be able to put into the new diffuser. So I'm going to go ahead and take these screws out. So now we've got our screen loose, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that out, and we're just going to set it off to the side here. Okay, so now we've got our screen out, and now what we need to do is, depending on whether or not you're utilizing the screen that goes around this edge here, which is kind of acts more like a heat shield, where it doesn't mess up your diffuser. If you're gonna reuse the factory one, you're gonna want to drill out these 4 rivets that are right here, and then be sure that you have new rivets that you're going to be able to put these back onto the carbon fiber diffuser. I've elected, as I showed you, I'm going to be doing the carbon fiber trim rings. So we'll be putting in new rivets into those. So I'm going to leave these intact, okay? But what we still have to do is we've got to go ahead and we've got to remove these clips here. You can see there's one here and there's one right here, and they just kind of run all the way down here like so, okay? They go all the way up and around. Now you also have a couple, the backup sensors here, okay? And we have to pop these out of here, and we're gonna put these into the new bumper, and the new bumper has these holders. So just like that. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. And then we'll kind of pop it with our thumb, and then we'll be able to pry this one open. And like I said, you just want to be as careful as you can. Okay. Just take your time, use a little finesse there. Just like that, okay? And then you're gonna go on ahead. This will stay on, this will stay on. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our screws out of the way here. Like I said, you're gonna end up putting these back into the back of the diffuser after you're done. Just set these off to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our nylon pry tool, and we're going to either use our finger or we're going to be able to push down. There's some clips on here. Let me show you one down here, and this will be a lot easier for you to see. So you can see right here, all you need to do is just push down just a little bit, and I'll try to get one out here so you guys can see it, but you're just going to press down on the clip, and that's going to release. So you can kind of see here what we're looking at, okay? So there's just this little press in right there that releases this. Okay, so all we're doing is we're just gonna do that on all of these. Like I said, some of them you'll be able to do with your fingers, not a big deal. But if you have a pry tool, it'll make it just that much easier for you. Okay, these ones up here in the corner, they're kind of tight. There we go, just like that. And kind of like in here. Let's see if we can get to that one. That one's kind of with this sensor in there that makes it kind of hard to get to. Yeah, pretty tough right there. There we go. Just got to get the right angle on it. And so we've got all these three here. We'll go down to this one. See if I can try to stay out of you guys' way here, so you guys can see. As you can see, guys, some of them are easy to get off. Some of them are kind of a pain in the butt. You get the right angle on them, they typically will pop right out. Okay. And you're going to end up reusing these clips, so try not to break them. This one I think is the hardest one of them all because of where it's located at. It's just really tough to get in there. Let's see if I can get in from this angle over here and push down. That might work a little bit better. There we go. And one more. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get all of our clips over here in one spot so we know where they're all at. Put them up on the bumper side. And now at that point, what we can do is we can go ahead and we can start to pull the bumper loose. Now, you notice my support is kind of sitting on it. So what we have to do is we got to move this over just a hair. Just like this. There we go. And having two people to do this is going to be a great help to you because you're not going to have to worry so much that something's going to fall on you, okay? But there's also one screw right here. It's a 7mm screw, like that. And we got one over here. Okay. So now, this should just go ahead and start to come free. So just push out. I missed one of the clips right here. So that's a prime example. If it's causing you a little bit of grief, then you want to make sure that you double check that you got all the clips. All right, so now we're going to go down a little bit more. And you try not to drop it. All right, so now we got it off. All right, so we're going to set this one off to the side. All right, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this right back where it belongs. And you'll feel it. This one's going to go in like that, and this goes up into this slot right here. It's like so. Okay. Get this one up in there like that too. And this one's going to go. You'll feel the slots. It should be an exact replacement. It should just go right back in place. Okay, so far so good, guys. It's going together well. All right, so now what we can do is we can start putting our snaps back in. And so you'll know exactly when you have it in the right spot because the snap will go in. It will not go in unless you have it pushed in far enough. So let's see if we can find one that will go. There we go. And if it won't go all the way, let's use a little persuader here. Screwdriver, pry bar, something of that nature. And you do want it to be a tight fit, guys. I mean, you really do. You don't want this to be flopping around. So if it's fighting you, let's see, we'll just go to another one, see if we can get one started here. This is just being ornery. And they should be. Really, they should be. They should be nice and tight. There we go. There's one. All right, so let's see if we can get one on the other side. And then we don't have to worry so much about it falling apart on us when we got it all pulled apart here. Here. Another one here. This is the last one we're putting in on this side right here, and that locks it in. Now, there's a couple holes that are used in the factory ones that are not used on here, so you're gonna have a couple extra clips here. Now that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our screw back in over here. Okay, and we'll do the same thing over on this side. Okay, just like that. Now what we can do, we've got a couple other things we gotta do. We gotta put our sensor back in. Now this has a little rubber on it, so if this came off in your other bumper, you wanna go get it, make sure that you put that in there. And then you're gonna wiggle this right into its place. You'll be able to feel it. It's not, you shouldn't have to force it very hard, and it should just go in and snap into place like that. Same thing on this one. Same thing, we've got our rubber on here. you just go ahead and you want to make sure that it snaps into place like so. All right, so now the last thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put our screen back on. Now, the kit came with some screws. For some reason, I cannot find where the bag is. So you're gonna see here that I'm having to use a few different types of screws on this, but you would normally have some screws here to be able to fit onto the kit, okay? Because the original screws that came out of the original diffuser does not work, okay? So make sure when you get started, when you get your box, make sure that you have your screws ready to go so you don't end up like I did and have to go chase some down, okay? So I'm gonna go grab the screen and we'll go ahead and we'll put it back on. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna set our screen in place. Okay, just like so. And we're gonna go ahead and put our screws and our washers on. And a washer. Cool, thank you. Okay, and that's all there is to doing that part of it. All right, guys, so you saw how we got the screen screwed back down. Now, if you were reutilizing these original trim pieces, the carbon flash ones out of your other bumper, and you had drilled them out, the pieces that go here, then you would go ahead and you would transfer those over to this car and then put the rivets in. But this, you can see here, is another part from Extreme Online Store. That is the carbon fiber surround, okay? And it's true carbon fiber. You can see that on the back side here. And that goes up inside like so, okay? So whether you're using the carbon fiber version or you're using your original piece, it doesn't really matter. But you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna use some rivets here to be able to put this trim ring back in place, okay? Now, I know you're saying, well, why is he using silver ones? That's all I have, but the factory ones are silver too, guys. So these are very tight fit, and you may have to, I'm gonna try to wiggle these in without drilling them, but we'll see if we can get these to go in. There's one that went in there. And you might be able to use your rivet gun to actually help you with a little bit of pressure in there. We'll see if we can wiggle them in. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. And like this. Okay. And then we're just going to go ahead and rivet them in. So just pinch the two pieces together. Make sure your rivet's all the way in there. And there's that one. And we're going to do that over here. And then my pneumatic one makes it so much nicer. If you just have a hand riveter, well, I'm sorry, but you know, it's only eight rivets, so not a big deal. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the other side here. So have your rivets handy and insert these. Okay, just like so. If the silver is bothering you, you can use a little bit of touch-up paint. Or if you're watching this video before you decide you want to tackle it, you can always run down to Home Depot or Ace Hardware or somewhere like that and get yourself some black ones.
If they have them in stock.
Yeah, if they have them in stock. Okay. This one here, I'm gonna need a little bit of help with, I think, with my gun. So we'll go ahead and we'll push this one up in there like that. Get a little leverage on there, there we go. I'm going to pinch it together. There we go. And we're down to the last one. All right. So that guys is exactly how you would install and transfer over from the carbon flash diffuser over to the carbon fiber diffuser. All right guys, so now that we've got the bottom diffuser on and our screen back on and our trim ring, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna change out the bottom vent. Now, if you've chosen to do that, this is exactly how you're gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you that these are extremely stiff. They're carbon fiber. They do not flex like the ones that are coming out of the bumper. So when I have done this in the past, basically what happens is that I end up having to put it in place. It looks great, but it's not gonna lock. So what I've done is I take the clips, and have probably seen many of these over the time that we've been doing shows, is that these are the clips that go onto the rock guards. So if you've replaced any of your old rock guards with your new ones, you can go ahead and elect to get some of these, and these will help to be able to hold these in place. Now, we may not need these on these, but I wanted to tell you that we might, and so we're gonna find out here in just a second. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop, well, this one I've already popped free. This one here, we're gonna go ahead and pop that one out. And then you're gonna pry these two clips open just like that to be able to move this up and out of the way. Make sure the rubber is still on the sensor. And we're just gonna kind of tuck that out of the way. Then the way these work is that the red part of the bumper, you can see the burgundy here all the way along the way, that's all part of the bumper. And then the black has a little clip right here that locks down into a notch on the bumper on this little spot here on the bumper. So these are extremely hard they're really hard to get free, and so you're just going to have to kind of work with them, use a pry tool or a small screwdriver to be able to pop these open. And then once you do, you should be able to get up underneath here. And you can see how that one's still being ornery. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to work around this. And we'll go from there. Hopefully that we can get this free. Okay. And the vents are really tight in there, so you really can't get to it. So I'm going to use my tool here that I have to be able to separate this a little bit. But you know, if you've got some tools that you can just work with it with your pry tools, you'll be able to get it free. It just takes a little bit of doing. You might have to use a screwdriver or something of that nature, but these are pretty tight. But once you get the corner popped, then you'll be able to get the rest of them to go. You can see right there, it just takes one to get it free. And then they'll start popping free. All right, there we go. So now, as you guys saw, that's pretty tough to be able to get these free, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the other one back into its place, and we're gonna find out whether it locks it down or not, okay? So we're gonna make sure we get them all in the guides. Okay. We've got to get this one underneath there. There we go, like that. All right, so I think we got the guides started. So now you can see though, what it does is it tries to bounce out of its socket. And you can see that the tabs are darn near all the way down, right? And they're fitting in there, just like that. There we go. And you can feel it whether, when you run your hand on the other side, you can tell whether or not it has gone into its slot. And it has. Okay. All right. So now this one, lucky for me, has locked down in place, and that's great. But like I was saying, if you have a problem with it, you're gonna be able to take one of these little guys, and you're gonna be able to just press it down all the way down onto this ear, and it's not going anywhere, okay? Can't be seen from the outside, and you know, so it'll just go on like so. And then you can rest assured that it's locked down, and you're not gonna have to take it off, okay? So then at that point, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna go ahead, you're gonna put your sensor back in place. Okay, this will just go right down in there like so, right? And then you'll put these little tabs back in place like there. And that is really all there is to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put those in place now. And I'm gonna go ahead and snap that into place. Just like that, and that's all there is to it. And so now that you've got that one done, you're just going to go ahead and repeat it on the other side, and you'll be totally done with the rear end. And now you can go back. We're going to put the part of putting the bumper back together from my original video, so you'll know exactly how to put it back together. If you've already done that, you already know how to do it, then you're done with the video. You don't have to watch it anymore. But and so that's all there is to being able to put a carbon fiber bottom diffuser, a rear diffuser on your C8, as well as the carbon fiber trim ring around the exhaust, as well as the carbon fiber vents that go into the car. Okay, so guys, that's it. So this was a long video, I know. There was a lot to it, but this really makes a difference, and you'll see that here in just a second when we get the bumper back on, okay? So you remember that bolt, or the bolt and the nut here that we had to take off? It's right here. So we have to make sure that that goes back up in there, that this top flange goes up on top of here, and that's really all there is to it besides snapping those back together. So we're just going to lift this little guy up, okay? And it will go onto that stud pretty easy. Okay, we'll do that. And you can see that pretty much goes right on. Okay, so now there's that. Okay, so now I think what's happening is that the bottom trim has decided it's going to drop out of the way. So we'll set that there. And then I'll take a look down here to see what's going on, and that's exactly what has happened. There we go. So, you know, again, guys, I can show you. I mean, that we can do this way more graceful when we're doing it two guys. You know, it's a lot easier to do with two people. But I want to be able to show you that you can do it on your own without, you know, without messing things up, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a couple screws up here in the top just to hold it. Okay, so I've got a screw here. We'll get that started. There we go. Alright, that guys is it. You know, we would have to put the connectors back together. It's just the reverse. You're gonna have the two screws that are right here, as well as the bolt that goes right here, and then you're just gonna close it all up, just putting screws all across the top layer. So guys, take a look at this beautiful carbon fiber rear diffuser, as well as the upper vents and the exhaust trim that's all in carbon fiber. It just really makes the car, and I didn't realize to what extent it would make such a difference, but it does. And I just totally love it. So if you guys are in need or want of being able to put something like this on your car, or any of the other parts that you have seen me do on a C7, a C8, C5, C6, anything that Extreme Online Store sells, you can go ahead, and we are now a dealer, so you can come to us and we can get you set up. And a lot of times we can actually save you a little bit of money over what Extreme Online sells direct, because we are a dealer. We can go ahead and give you a discount. So it does depend on what part it is, but we can do typically between 5 and 10% discount. So anyway, if you want to save some money, be sure and go through me, and I can go ahead and get you set up, okay? So I'm going to put all of that information right here on the screen, and we'll be happy to take care of you. As far as installation, we do all the installations ourselves here at our shop. We are one of the only authorized installers for Extreme Online Store in the country. So we get people from all over the country, and I'm not kidding you, we've had them from Florida, we've had them from Nevada, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, you name it, we've had them. And so, not to mention all of the local people that come, and we do quite a bit of work. So if you guys are interested in getting any of this stuff done, be sure and reach out to me, and I can give you a quote. Okay, so anyway, guys, I just want to thank you guys all for watching. Again, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell so you will be alerted of our next uploads. And guys, we've got a whole bunch more still to do on this Corvette, so we're going to keep plugging along, and we're going to keep doing it. And so just stay tuned, because we're going as fast as we can go to put all the stuff on the car, and I've got lots of videos coming. I'm editing them as fast as I can go. I'm trying to put one out every week, and so I just want to thank you guys all for watching. But again, hopefully you enjoyed the video today, and we will talk at you guys later. Okay? You guys have a great day. Bye now.
Walk right in, all you sinners and saints. Tonight's the night we're gonna take off these chains. Some moves will never mend. It came with a warning, now we're all out of time. This romance with ignorance has left us behind. Sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't go to hell if we're already there. It's no mystery, what can I say? We're blind by design, and history keeps getting paid to change its mind. Some moves will never mend. Divided by deception, but together we must rise. Deafened by the naive while we silence the wise. So sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late for a prayer. We can't go to hell if we're already there. They say the end is coming and I need to prepare. We can't souvenir. The world is waiting